well. That's why it works out on Wednesdays, because typically the jump races will be Wednesdays and Thursdays. Sean, of course, a former jump jockey. Both of you guys did the Steeplechase Times for years and years, and now kind of melded this jump coverage into thisishorseracing.com. But today, the Jonathan Kaiser kicks things off. I have the Kaiser 6, 4, 5, and 2. I put Moscato on top. But, I said, as I'm sitting here handicapping this morning, I said, don't sleep on New Member, the other Jack Fisher. I didn't put the horse in the mix, but as I looked at it this morning, I thought, you know what, the flat race, maybe that was just a little bit of a tightener. If we get the 12-1 there, that one scares me. But I went 6, 4, and 5, but if the 12-1 is still floating, I'll take a little look at New Member. What did you think of the Kaiser today?
Yeah, I think you're smart. I'm kind of the same way. I landed on Moscato. I'm afraid of New Member as well, and I'd certainly use him and box him in some exactas and triples. You're trying to beat Surprising Soul. I mean, he's done nothing wrong, and I've sort of been waiting for him to kind of regress or come back to the pack all year, and he hasn't. He just keeps winning and winning and winning. And you're at the price. It seems like you got to try to take a stand against him, winning his 4th jump race in a row. So I went with Jack Fisher with Moscato, who looks like a nice horse. He's got some nice flat form behind him in England, and I think he figures. And so I landed 6, 3, 5, 2. But it's fairly wide open race. I mean, there's four horses who wouldn't surprise you. No Wonder, New Member, Surprising Soul, Moscato. You wouldn't be surprised by any of that.
And are you plugged in the pregame in the first race over on the front side again? Okay,
Yep.
So people can watch your commentary there. Tomorrow it is the AP Smithwick Grade 1 on the jump side, 2 1/16 miles. Again, over the jumps. I went 5, 2, 3, and 6. I put Portrait on top, and we have a replay here of the Turf Riders from last year. The Turf Riders will come later in the meet. Portrait last year ran 3rd in the AP Smithwick before winning this Turf Riders. The Turf Riders Portrait on the replay will be the number 5 horse. Wins by a chart margin of 1 at 12-1. But I think this horse is a little bit scary, having shown an affinity for the course. But again, did finish 3rd in this race last year. For me, it was 5, 2, 3, and 6. What did you think of the Smithwick?
Yeah, Portrait's really come on and become a pretty nice horse. I mean, he used the 3rd in the Smithwick to sort of, at a huge price, to sort of work his way into the stakes division. His race in April against Scorpiancer was very good, 2nd there, and Scorpiancer's the best of the division. He kind of stays away from Saratoga because he'd get hammered in the handicap weights, basically. And Jack Fisher's got other horses. He can wait and run. He can wait and run in the fall for more money at Wait for Age. It's the only reason he's not here. I mixed it up a little bit. I went with a new shooter, Modem from Elizabeth Voss. Got some Irish form. Makes his first start in America. First time Lasix. Jack Doyle, who's certainly a top jockey. We'll get him a good trip, and again, trying to look for a little value. I'm not necessarily, this is a very wide open race. I'm not afraid of anybody. Nobody's a big time, heavy head kind of horse who should scare you away. I put, so he's 10, and I threw Diplomat in for a price. I wish it was a little firmer, and he's not rain anymore for Diplomat, so we'll see what he gets. And Portrait, I think certainly he'll be interesting to see if they put him on the lead like they've done, up here. And I think if he gets galloping, gets into a rhythm, it'll be a little tricky to catch for sure.
And I just want to toss in Mr. Hot Stuff, now jumping, was on the Triple Crown Trail years and years ago. Full brother to the Travers winner, Colonel John. And your brother Sean helped get him into the jump game.
Yeah, and he's about the coolest horse in the world. I spent this morning with him, and Jack shipped him up here, and we've written about him so many times, you're out of things to write about. So I hung out with him. I held him for the bath. I took him for a walk. I fed him a mint, and you pretty much can't do anything with him unless you feed him a mint. So, and he could run really well. He did not. He ran badly at the Iroquois and Nashville. He kind of missed one fence and kind of chucked it, and you just forgive him that. And if he gets a clean run, he's certainly got some gas in a tank. He's won this before, and he certainly is a classy horse, and I love his life. I mean, he has this great sort of attitude about everything. He's all class, and for an 11-year-old horse, ran the Kentucky Derby, for crying out loud, and he's still out doing it, which is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's kind of the fun part of the steeplechase as well, but makes second careers for a lot of these horses, and that's fun to see. Joe, again, appreciate the visit, kicking off our season. You and/or Sean in on Wednesdays throughout the meet, and highly tout, as I say, swinging up by the track and picking up or around town the Saratoga Special, or go online. thisishorseracing.com. Joe, again, thanks for the visit.
No, thanks for having me.
Joe Clancy, Saratoga Special, highly recommended. We'll take a break. When we come back, Joe Applebaum again. I want to talk about the bad beat of the meet. He'll line it up. He may close his eyes as we watch the replay, but He's had some good experiences, like winning the Breeders' Cup betting challenge this past year, so plenty to celebrate on that side. All of that and more right after this. Stay tuned.
This is Racing Across America with Seth Merrow.
I'm Mark Cassano. Join me Saturday mornings at 10 for Down the Stretch. We'll inform, analyze, and welcome in the biggest names in racing. So join me Saturday mornings at 10 for Down the Stretch, right here on the OTB television network.
In a recent study of some of the top online wagering sites, Capital OTB won big in total player rewards, far surpassing some of the best-known wagering sites in America. While other rewards programs simply offer you points redeemable for gift cards, Capital OTB's rebates are paid to you in actual cash. Plus, Capital OTB gives you full and immediate access to your money. So if all you're getting now are points and gift cards, join Capital OTB Player Rewards today and get cash back. Visit CapitalOTBBet.com and sign up today.
I'm Steve Beck.
And I'm Seth Merrow.
Together, we're loose on the lead on Capital OTB, Sundays at 10 a.m. Why should they watch, Seth?
Sit down on Sunday, have a bagel, get some great racing conversation.
Cream cheese only, no jelly. Sundays, 10 a.m., loose on the lead, Capital OTB.
What if there was a way to become a better horse player, to have a better knowledge of the game, to be more successful? What if there were a way to take what you've learned, what you know, and make better decisions, better choices, to know how to connect the dots? In horse racing, knowledge is a powerful tool, but not the only tool. Race results and replays, past performances and live streaming, wagering from all your digital devices. These too are important tools, and you'll find them all right here at Capital OTB. Capital OTB. Become a better horse player.
You have just witnessed a felony.
As we mentioned before the break, we're 4 days into the meet, but on day 3, we defined the bad beat of the meet already. It's not going to change. We'll talk a little bit about that, but some very, very good things as well with our next guest, Joe Applebaum. Good morning, Joe.
Hey, Seth. How are you?
Very good. Happy to have you on board. As I say, we have happier things to talk about in a few moments, but I want to go back to Sunday. As I say, this has got to be the bad beat of the meet. You guys, now was you and some partners?
Yeah, I always have a couple partners.
So as you and a team got to the last race on Sunday, you guys had a number of horses live in the pick 6, some of those for the single ticket, again, on what was a 2-day carryover at that point. One of the horses you had live as a single, being you had the only ticket that was live, was number 8, Cookie Crisp. We're going to watch the stretch run here. Cookie Crisp is going to take the lead, the number 8. You're going to get run down by a nose by number 12, Major Force. And I mean, this is a bad beat for missing, what was it, $500,000? And I will tell you, it's going to be on our TV here. You may not want to look and replay, but talk a little bit about it.
Hold on. It was $577,000, first off, and we would have had a bunch of consos, too. So it would have been a very big score. And, yeah, we were alive to 5 horses, and here they come.
And then, as I say, this is just this 3 days in, we've defined the bad beat. This is a life-changing score, as they say, which would have been with the consos, over 600 or just floating around. And, what are your emotions here?
Well, it's when Kendrick's shot through on the rail, I got pretty excited, to be honest, because that's usually the move that wins it on the inner turf. And the horse seemed to be extending away. And then I saw the 12 horse coming on the outside, and you're like, uh-oh. and then I thought maybe we could win the Bob, and alas, no.
But you did wind up with some consos that I suppose took a little bit of the sting out. But
Very little.
how much of the sting?
I don't want to seem greedy. The consos were nice, but it's a whole different ballgame.
But then you told me as you sat down and you were beaten by a Linda Rice horse. She trained the winner that got you by that much, major force. But then you said you ran into her.
Yeah,
just added to the story and maybe the sting.
Yeah, I spoke to Linda yesterday, and I told her she made me cry on Sunday. So her horse she thought was very good and thought had a real good chance to win, but she drew the 12 hole. Inner turf going a mile. The stats are 0 for life. Those horses never win. And she considered scratching, but was afraid, she wouldn't get a chance to re-enter this meet, and decided to run anyway, and got up.
I think we can all send our hearts out to you, and I think we've all had bad beats of a lesser value that stick around with us. One like that is just, boy, that's
sure.
rough.
Look, it's part of the racing luck, right? We've all had bad beats. We've won by a nose. Unfortunately, in this case, the value of the ticket was so vast that, it hurts a little more than...
I hear you. But let's flip it around now. Let's go 180. Let's go back to last year, Breeders' Cup weekend. You were participating in the Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge, one of the big live money events on the calendar, and we're going to watch the stretch run of the Breeders' Cup Classic. It'll be Kate winning here and getting it done and completing an exacta over California Chrome. And you had taken pretty much your whole bankroll and gone cold, Arrogate over California Chrome. I believe $13,000 on that. Took the other $1,000 that you had of your bankroll and did some backups. But this win gets you the Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge Championship.
It sure did. And in many ways, it's almost the exact reverse of the loss we just had. California Chrome was able to set an easy pace, was out there alone on the lead. Arrogate didn't have the greatest trip. He seemed to be coming. I wasn't quite sure, is he going to get there? Is he going to get there? Then the last 100 yards, it kind of looked like he did. And then, in the shadow of the wire, he pulled away. So I guess, look, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. In this game, you got to be able to live with that.
Fill us in a little bit on the decision-making process in a contest like that you took your $14,000 and essentially pushed all in. What was the thought process?
Well, in the Breeders' Cup Challenge in particular, but most of the live money tournaments, there's great value in moneying. So not just making money on your own bankroll, but getting in the top 15. And in the Breeders' Cup, getting to first or second or third, there's a lot of money available. So the added value of that is often worth the risk. I came in to the contest and the day really trying to get as much money as I could into Arrogate. But at the time, he was 8-5. And we didn't have enough to really make a push because the leader at that point was at about 60,000. And I wasn't even sure that the exacta would get me to the top. I thought, second, third, fourth, great finish, make a little extra money, really proud. As it turned out, the top 15 players, only 3 of them made significant bets. Because so many of them had done so well, they already had stacks of over $30,000, and not everyone wants to risk that. That benefited me, and I was able to make the jump.
And top prize was $300?
$300,
nice. Yeah. So, again, the yin and the yang of the
Exactly.
game, but happy to see that a bad beat like that, you've had the flip side as well, because you can think back on that Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge. Are you much of a contest player regularly?
I try to play as many of the live money tournaments as I can. I tend to prefer those. I'll be playing here. I finished 7th at the Belmont Challenge as the field seemed to run by me in the last 2 races. But I enjoy the live money tournaments.
Do you have a handicapping philosophy, or are there some races you like better than others? I love the maiden races. I love the turf races. The maiden races I like because you you can find things with the breeding that aren't necessarily on the page, which offer some value, perhaps.
I'm very similar to you in that way. I like to find something that's a little different than what everyone else can see. Otherwise, I just have to beat everyone at the same game, which is really difficult.
And fill us in a little bit on your background. I know at one point you were a football coach. Now you're, as I say, a board member on the New York Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. You're a breeder as well. What took you from the gridiron to the racetrack?
Well, it's funny you say that. About 2001 or 2002, a bunch of friends and I hit a pick six here for $109,000. And
I'm looking over your shoulder this afternoon.
That's a long time ago already, but 2 or 3 of us took half that money and bought a horse, and then resold it, and bought another one and resold it. And to be honest, it was complete beginner's luck. We didn't know what we were doing. But because it went well, I started putting together partnerships, doing a little pin hooking, bought a farm, and now I'm more focused on breeding and raising horses. We now have, my partners and I have over 20 mares here in New York, and we breed horses both for the track and to resell. And we have a couple runners here too, although we're kind of in a systematic reshuffle, which happens with horses right now. But so that's kind of where I've been the last 10 years.
Off the hook.
Off the hook.
Yeah, there you go. Being a board member of the New York Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association, being a breeder in the state, I'll give you a chance to tout the New York breeding program, because whenever I talk to people who do breed, with the incentives and whatnot, it certainly seems like the way to go. Certainly.
Sure, I'll sound like the commercial. Get in the program. That used to be a commercial they had. The program's wonderful. I think if you look, New York is the only state that's added broodmares in the last 5 years. All the other major racing states have seen small declines where we've seen significant gains. And there's a reason for that. The program supports that. It supports farms and jobs in this community, Saratoga in particular. There's many horse farms here and throughout the state, up and down the Hudson Valley, out west. And it's great, and you can run your horses here. It gives the horses a chance to develop and maybe not get thrown in against $500,000 babies, and it's really been great. I've had New York State, New York bred stakes winners like Mighty Eros. My friend and I bred Zevo, who was $1 million winner, and he's a great example of how the program should work. He was able to build up against New York breds, so that by the time he got to open company, he was a little more seasoned, a little more tough, and a little more race ready, and then he competed against the best horses of his generation.
And people might not realize out there, but as a breeder, you root for your horses on the racetrack even after they leave, because as being part of the New York bred program, if they do well and they win, the breeder gets a chunk of change as well.
The breeder gets a chunk of change. The value of your broodmare goes up. The value of your progeny goes up. And speaking of which, next Saturday, the 5th, August 5th, I guess so a week from Saturday, I hope, knock on wood, that Bob Baffert is bringing a filly named Fabian to run in the test. That came from my New York bred mare, Mighty Eros.
Oh, nice.
So it's obviously you're excited from the monetary aspect, but there's also a lot of personal pride in seeing a filly that I raced that was a stakes winner 10 years ago, seeing her progeny on the track now, succeeding, and it's very exciting.
You can have anything in the New York bred sale?
We have 2 fillies in the New York bred sale.
Okay, people can pick up the catalog, I
yes,
think, already
go get
online.
the catalog.
Yeah.
It's online. I'm sure Phasig will be opening their doors soon, and happy to have you there.
Very good. And just before we let you go, to get back to the betting, you have a favorite bet? Are the picks your favorite bet? I'm an exacta guy. Last few years, I've gotten more and more into pick 3s and pick 4s. I want Naira to go to a 50-cent pick 3, though. I like to get into the pick 4, and if you get a $20 horse to kick it off, I'll back up with pick 3s. But at $1, that gets a little dicier.
So, yeah, I'm much more of a horizontal or multi-race bet guy myself. I got to be honest, I know this isn't popular. I don't love the reduction in price constantly.
I see the argument against.
Right?
Absolutely.
You can cannibalize your own product a little bit. I know what it's done in the pick 5, and there's places for it, but in the end, you're letting people in for a lesser fee, and yes, you want them to gamble more and more, but we also don't want to make it too cheap. In a way, you're signaling that you're devaluing your own product.
Yeah, no, I get the arguments against, so I see both sides of that. Joe, certainly, again, appreciate the visit. Tough beat, but hopefully there's plenty of time left in the meet. Maybe you can turn it around right.
Trust me, I'll be firing to the very last day. You don't have to doubt about that.
And as I say, it was nice to see you on the 180-degree side. Good luck in the tournament here and tournaments as we go down the road. Appreciate the visit. Good luck with the horses as well.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Joe Applebaum, Bettor, breeder, and beyond. Boy, as I say, we've already defined the tough beat of the meet. So if you're out there telling stories about yours, you're running at least number 2. All right, we'll head to a break. When we come back, Teresa Gennaro joins us. The Saratoga calendar for this week. Stay tuned.
No matter what you're craving or when you crave it, we've got plenty of options for you. Whether it's a hearty breakfast, light lunch, or relaxing dinner, our full-service restaurant and bar will satisfy your every taste. The Diamond Club at Embassy Suites, where the world meets in Saratoga.
Hey race fans, head down to the all-new Clubhouse Racebook and get in the game. With live horse racing on more than 250 flat-screen TVs, state-of-the-art wagering terminals, fantastic food and drinks, an amazing Vegas-style atmosphere with seating for nearly 900 of your closest friends. Conveniently located at 711 Central Avenue, right off Exit 5 of I-90 in Albany, the Clubhouse Racebook is the better choice.
Don't miss the 2017 Thorough Fan Annual Awards Brunch with special guest speaker Donna Barton Brothers. This annual event is Saturday, August 12th at the Embassy Suites in Saratoga Springs, New York. Go to thoroughfan.com for tickets and information.
With more than 60 Easy Bet and branch locations throughout the region, you're just a short drive from all the top tracks across the country and around the world. For a complete list of all Easy Bet and branch locations, visit capitalotb.com. Capital OTB. We're closer than you think.
Come on!
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Whoops. My bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
No matter where in the world you are, the excitement of wagering on horse racing is just a click away. Bet any place, anytime at capitalotbbet.com. And be sure to download our new mobile app from the iTunes Store or Google Play.
With Saratoga's best outdoor patio, a spacious bar, and plenty of off-street parking, it's the perfect place to meet friends and relax after an exciting day at the track. The Diamond Club at Embassy Suites, where the world meets in Saratoga.
This is Racing Across America with Seth Merrow.
Welcome back. A few minutes left to this edition of Racing Across America, but a Wednesday means a visit from our friend Teresa Gennaro, as we've done in past years. A little update on the calendar of what's coming up in the week ahead on track and beyond. Good morning, Teresa.
Good morning, Seth. How are you?
Very good. Happy to have you on board. Very happy to have you on board because we'll start out. I guess it's the day of the comeback kids. Frank talked about some of his health issues, and I know you've been facing some as well. If people who are friends with you obviously know about it, but I think there's a lot of people that are familiar with your work, certainly, Saratogian during the season and beyond, many other publications, or maybe follow you on the blog or follow your Twitter account, which is very active, and maybe they're not up to date, but I know we saw you at Florida Derby weekend. You were just kind of undergoing treatment, and now you're kind of through most of things and looking good, and so
Thanks.
Update people.
Yeah, obviously it's a new hairstyle this year. In December I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Unfortunately, it was caught early during a routine mammogram, so I'm going to second what Frank said about getting your test done. I mean, all of this stuff is really treatable if it's caught early enough. I had great doctors at NYU, an incredible facility. Had surgery about a month ago, and knock wood, the prognosis is excellent. Doctors told me in December I'd have a crappy 2017, and then I'd be okay. And 2017 is almost half over, and I'm feeling pretty good. So it's great to be here.
You look good. We're thrilled to have you back, looking good and kicking right in. You thought you were going to miss opening weekend, you said?
I did.
Drove past your normal Saratoga boat. I saw the orange car in the driveway the night before opening day, and I said, "But she's in town. That's a good sign." And so you're off and running. That's great.
Yep.
All right. Speaking of off and running, again, every Wednesday, typically, maybe we'll switch it around some days as we've done in previous years, but you'll update us on some of the events at track and beyond. And let's kick off today. And I want to mention this for folks that are maybe sitting at home watching and aren't aware but are eligible. It's Military Appreciation Day at the track, which is always great.
It is great. And active service members and veterans with your military ID get in free. People will be, service members and veterans will be brought to the winner's circle before a number of races today. Out in the Saratoga Pavilion, there'll be some exhibits. So it's a really great thing to do for our local military personnel.
Yeah, they do it every year, and we certainly appreciate it. Again, and hats off to everybody for their service. Thursday night, throughout the meet, I mentioned it, kicked off last week. I mentioned it when I had Andy on Monday, but Parting Glass, Andy Serling and his radio show, highly recommended. They have it in the back room there with the stage. There was a packed house of standing room only this past Thursday, and always good guests, always entertaining. And as I say, it's a great way to go down to eat dinner and listen to Andy 8 o'clock every Thursday night.
Yeah, and he's got 3 really great, interesting people, Dale Romans, Norm Cassie, and Kendrick Carmouche, so definitely worth checking out. If you can't get there, it is also available on the ESPN radio stream, which up here is ESPN 104.5. And the show is also archived on the NYRA website and on YouTube, so you can, if you can't make it, you can catch it that way.
Yeah, Ernie's in the back of the room with the camera taping, so you can catch it, as you say, on YouTube. But highly recommended, 8 o'clock on Thursday nights. Should be fun Friday. They've done it in years past, a little bit of a twist this year. College and Alumni Day coming up on track.
I think this is such a great thing that NYRA is doing, because we talk so much about getting younger people into the game and turning them into gamblers, turning them into the future Joe Applebaums. And so there's
they can only hope.
Right. There's a handicapping tournament that's only open to the people who have registered through the College and Alumni Day. There's up to $5,000 in scholarship money at stake. The deadline to register was July 21st. The phone number's on my website if you want to check it out. Maybe even if you call today, you'll be able to get in. But I think it's a great way to develop the future player.
Yeah, and stop by and take advantage of all that's going on. College and Alumni Day Friday. Coming up Friday, also something new at the race. Actually, it's not new. Last year was the first, wasn't it?
The trivia contest?
Racing
Yeah.
trivia?
Last year was the first one.
That's coming up Friday at the Racing Museum.
Yes, really fun. Again, something else that you need to register for by calling the museum. You can have teams of up to 2 to 5. Last year they did it in a variety of categories: the Triple Crown, Saratoga, trainers, jockeys. My team last year was Barbara Livingston and Susie Rasher and me, and we finished second by a head. So we're gonna try to go back and get some bragging rights this year. But it is really fun, and I think you can go and just watch, even if you don't want to play.
But not shout answers from the back of the room. That would be
No.
Trivia, a trivia faux pas.
That would be a trivia faux pas. Yeah. You want in, you got to play.
Saturday, Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund Awareness Day, and I think that's across the country.
It is. It's a number of racetracks.
Up here as well.
Yeah. So from 11:30 to 12:30 on the porch near the jockeys room, there'll be jockeys signing autographs with a suggested donation to the PDJF. PDJF will also be in the community outreach booth, where you can learn about what they do. An incredibly important organization to the sport. For the jockeys that do become permanently disabled, can't work anymore, and this organization provides support for them.
Yeah, we had the nice event a couple of days before opening day last week on Wednesday. We did the event down at the Clubhouse Racebook, and appreciated everybody who showed up, both fans and the horse people who showed up. It was a great event, and we were able to donate some money to a really worthwhile racing charity. I just want to mention I'm a big fan, and I talked a little bit about it last Sunday and Monday. Low roller handicapping contest continues throughout the meet on Sundays and Mondays. You can sign up down in that with the old carousel area and all the 4-Star Dave Sports Bar. $40 gets you in, $30 you play with during the day, live money, $10 goes into the prize pool. It's a lot of fun. Sundays and Mondays, the low roller handicapping contest. And speaking of Monday and the PDJF this Monday, this is a fun event, and everybody agrees, and it's been going on for a few years now. Jockey karaoke over at the Raceway.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing it for 5 or 6 or 7 years now, and I think, the jockeys, they practice. They get together, they rehearse.
Costumes, they got the whole
costumes,
thing.
They dance.
Choreography.
Yep, yeah. So it's incredibly fun. There's always a good vibe there. Often there's a little dancing afterward. They move the tables away and get on the dance floor. The tickets are $75 and $100, depending if you want to be a VIP or not. But again, worth it. Really fun night, and it all goes to a really good cause.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. And again, there are some of the events coming up. But if you'd like the entire calendar, folks can find that on your Brooklyn Backstretch website.
Yep, brooklynbackstretch.com.
So swing by and you can see all of what's coming up this weekend, and it's updated every week, and we'll update here every week as well. Teresa, thanks for the visit. And again, happy to see you, looking good.
Thanks.
So kicking off the season, and we'll be doing it every Wednesday.
Great to be back.
Or other days, as in other years we switched it around, but we'll be in here.
At least once a week.
Yeah, once a week. Yeah, there you go. All right, I'm going to wrap things up for this edition of Racing Across America. Again, don't forget, there's a win-a-bet promotion down at the Clubhouse Racebook this afternoon. Tomorrow, Queensberry branch. We'd love to see you there if you're a patron. It's a fan appreciation day at the Queensberry branch. And Friday, the bounty bet continues. Over $1,200 up for grabs with a late pick foreplay. More information on all of those at the website, capitalotv.com. All right, wrapping things up for this Wednesday morning, heading into Wednesday afternoon. Make some money. We'll see you again tomorrow morning, kicking off with the Handicapper Report at 9 o'clock. We'll see you then.
You've been watching Racing Across America with Seth Merrow. Racing Across America has been brought to you by Pinnell's Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, Saratoga, just minutes from the track. Thoroughfan, giving the fan a voice. Find them at thoroughfan.com. And Woodbine Racetrack. Pick, bet, and cheer on world-class horse racing north of the border.
You're watching OTB TV, a service of Capital Off-Track Betting.